Oh, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Maybe probably from wherever you'll be watching me from, or you are watching me from. Yeah. So I have requested that we have some discussion today, basically to discuss some of the recent issues that are happening regarding Canadian visa application and feedback that have been coming so far from some individuals who have tried to submit, or some individuals who have submitted the applications, and the response that is requested from them to justify some documents they have submitted. So what we'll be discussing today basically is going to be on what we call procedural fairness request letter. It is called PFL. Now, before we discuss what is PFL, we need to know what PFL is. Okay, so PFL is basically talking about, say, maybe you submitted a document for an application. Sorry, I'm walking. You submitted a document to support your Canadian visa application. Now, maybe upon accessing the document, it's been noticed that the documents are not authentic. The embassy will describe it as fraudulent document or fake document. But then the embassy cannot make conclusion just like that. So what they will do is that they will write to you to justify that you provide, they write to you for you to justify that a document you have provided is a genuine document, but rather not a fake document. So the embassy will leave that to your hand to justify. That is what we call procedural fairness. The embassy tries to be fair in that regard, to give you the second chance, or to give you the opportunity to explain or to show further proof of the document you used during your application. So the embassy will send you a request for you to justify the document you use for your application. Okay, and that is what we call the procedural fairness request. Now, when you request, when that request comes in, you'll be expected to do what? To justify why you submitted a document that is deemed fake. Okay, and there are several ways that you can address such concerns. There are several ways you can say that the document is not fake. I'm just trying to have access to my class to see if we can have such a big class, man. We can have the interview done. We can have our discussion. So please give me some time. Okay, can step out. This is too dark here. Okay, so the embassy will be wanting to know further details, basically further details regarding the documents you have attached to your application. And that document, you need to provide a justification for it. Okay, so what happened recently is that someone was asked to justify how they obtained a particular bank statement. Okay, I already mentioned the bank, but the embassy is giving the person 15 days to justify the authenticity of that bank statement. Now, this is not the first time this is happening. There is a time someone also submitted an employment letter that shows that the person has been working in this company for some time. And then the embassy wrote to the person under PFL that the person should justify the authenticity of the document. So this is not the first time I have helped people to address issues of PFL, but I think that it's something that is generally becoming a trend, and I feel like we can address it now. So how do we address issues of procedural fairness? Okay, so first off, depending on the kind of document you submitted, okay, depending on the kind of document you submitted, and then the questions that were raised or that are raised, that will determine the kind of approach you have to use. So if you submitted a bank statement and then the embassy is asking you to actually write to them to justify the authenticity of that bank statement, there are several ways or several means that you can do that. The first thing you need to do is to first of all be sure that the bank statement you submitted is not fake. Okay, so you have to write your defense one after the other. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to justify that your bank statement is not fake. Why is it not fake? Number one, you need to obtain some introductory letter from the bank. Okay, the bank justifying or writing to the embassy saying that this is a true copy of their statement, and they are much concerned that the embassy will be addressing their, document as fraudulent. That's number one. Once the bank gives you this letter and then you attach, you have one strong point to stand on. Number two, if it is a dependent or a sponsor's bank statement you are using, you need your sponsor to write a letter, okay, saying that, no, this is a true copy of my bank statement, this is what I do, and these are various transactions that have happened in my account over the years. So I don't know the reason why the embassy will be describing my documents as fraudulent. And then I take so much concern in that, and I'll be glad if whoever I'm sponsoring be accorded with the needed support. Another means that you can also address procedural fairness depending on the issue at hand. That is, if it is bank statement, is for you to look out for a lawyer, okay, that will write to the bank, okay. So you are going to leverage on a legal basis. That will write to the bank, and then the bank will write to the embassy directly. The bank is not going to communicate to you, okay. The bank can write to the embassy directly, copied you in an email, copied your sponsor in an email, indicating that, look, we have received this petition from this person who owns an account with us, with account details below, who has submitted an account to support his son, his daughter, or whoever, okay, whoever that is supporting or she's supporting, okay, indicating that you requested a true certified copy of this letter or of this account. We write to inform you that the account is genuine, the account exists, the transactions quoted in the statement that is attached is accurate. Okay, now once you do these things, the embassy knows that once this email emanates from the embassy, you are copied in the email, and then the embassy is also once this email emanates from the bank and then to the embassy, and then you are copied in the email, and your sponsor is also copied in that email, know that that issue is dying down. Okay, so in terms of procedural fairness request, when it comes to bank statements or whatever it is, you need to be strategic about it. Now, another thing that you can also do from your side, okay, it is not all the time that some of the banks will do that. Okay, another thing that you can do from your side is to have an updated statement as well from your sponsor. Okay, show more evidence with your sponsor. Okay, give more details about recent transactions, previous transactions, the work your sponsor do, and all that. Okay, and then show that, look, This has been my sponsor over the years. This is his account, previous transactions details as follows. And then these are the things that he does and all that. Okay. Attach evidence of, say, maybe previous sponsorship. Attach evidence of, say, maybe anything that can show proof that, look, this is your sponsor. This is the business he does. This is a true certified copy from the bank. Do you understand? Okay. But then you cannot submit a bank statement, okay? Or we cannot submit this request without taking what? A formal letter from what? The bank. Okay. If the bank cannot email the embassy, take the charge upon yourself and let the bank give you an introductory letter, okay? And then also make their contacts available that they can be contacted on this. If the embassy feels the account that is attached has what? Any omission, any alteration or whatever, okay? Once you do so, you are good to go. The embassy is going to receive your letter and then what? Respond in that regard. What is important is that the embassy gives you 15 days for you to clarify, or gives you a minimum of 7 days, depending on, okay, the issue, or depending on how soon you need to come up with solutions for that matter. Whatever days that you are given, please don't wait till the last minute, because the embassy rely on what? Your response to their PFL to what? Make a decision. Now, PFL is not only in terms of bank statements or document. Sometimes, maybe you've been denied in one embassy, but then you fail to what? Declare that in another, in your Canadian visa application. What the embassy sometimes will do, or the visa officer, in order to give you a fair hearing, the visa officer will give you a request, okay, which is like the procedural fairness, that justify why you fail to declare that you've been denied before. Procedural fairness. Okay, so in that regard also, you need to say that, oh, maybe you've been denied 2009 years ago, but that has escaped you, or you couldn't interpret well whether you couldn't interpret the reason to be indicated there, or say something reasonable. Let the embassy know that it is not something that you remember and then you deliberately or ignore not to include it in your application, okay? And then sincerely apologize for the omission, okay? And then promise not to repeat that, but let them know that it is not your intention to omit or to refuse to declare an information. Probably, maybe the incident occurred years ago, or the incident occurred several decades ago, so it escaped you, okay? I mean, though it's not an excuse, but some of the visa officers will listen to your request and then grant you your visa. But if you fail to declare, if you fail to mention, if you fail to, establish some of these feedbacks, and then they send you procedural fairness requests, and then you fail to respond to it, you may be denied or you may be banned, okay? So that is what we all need to keep in mind. Others also occurred based on the fact that you submit an employment letter saying that you have worked in this organization for this number of years, but according to embassies cross-checking, there is nothing like that. How do you address procedural fairness in this manner? Also, same approach. Go to your company, take a letterhead, introductory letter from your company. Let the company notify the embassy that, look, this candidate has been with us and has been working with us for this number of years, and in fact, a copy of whatever employment letter he has submitted is a true copy and a true certified copy from us. Kindly accord him or her with whatever services may be needed, okay? Once you do so, your company can directly send this to the organization or to the embassy involved, or if it is through an organization that is helping you undertake your visa process, your company can send this to the organization. The organization will then send it to the embassy. Then the embassy will grant you a visa. Okay? So, depending on the issue at hand, depending on the issue you want to address, depending on what the embassy requests you to provide, will determine what you write in your procedural fairness request. But don't keep shut on the 15 days or the 7 days that the embassy has given you to justify why an information that you need to include in your application is missing, or why a document you include in your application is fraudulent, or why you must not be what? Denied or banned. Do you understand? Inadmissible, you are likely to be what? Banned or something. Okay, so you owe yourself this responsibility to do what? To explain to the visa officer some of these what happenings. Okay, so basically this is what I would like to address when it comes to issues of procedural fairness. And then I'm hoping that somebody learned from this, and then so let's keep the conversation going, and then we see what the future holds. Okay, so that is all for procedural fairness. Whether it is bank statement, whether it is employment letter, whether it is omission of information during your filing of the application, don't be intimidated. All you need to do is find a way you can provide a valid justification. Okay, and I say that if it is a bank statement you submitted and you need to do justification, write to the bank, let the bank write to the embassy and keep you in copy. Right, let your sponsor, if you are using a sponsor statement, let your sponsor write to the bank, let the bank write to the embassy, give you a copy or copy you in an email. If you are using your own statement, it is even simpler. Okay, just go to the bank and then you obtain a certified true copy. Okay, so any supporting document that you feel will make your case very much more better, make sure that you do what? You add it to your procedural fairness request information, and then trust me, your visa is not going to be denied. Thank you. So keep your comments coming, and then let's get interactive on procedural fairness requests, and let's know what more we can do and what have you. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. Share this video with someone who may be in need to understand what procedural fairness request letter is, and then let's see how we can address it should you come across such incidents, or should you submit your visa and then you are asked to justify some information. Don't be worried, because I have addressed what procedural fairness request letter means and how you can go about it. Okay, if there is anything more you need clarification on, don't forget to leave it in the comment section, and then I'll respond. Thank you very much and have a good day.